Hi, my name's Miriam.
And I'm Andrew. We're both from the Centre for Learning and Teaching at Edith Cowan University in Western Australia. We recently published a paper with our colleague Paul McLaughlin on how ChatGPT is represented in the media in the Journal of Applied Learning and Teaching.
In our study, we looked at news media from the launch of ChatGPT until mid-February. During this time, ChatGPT was growing rapidly, but most competitors such as Bing, Copilot and Bard were yet to be announced. This is why our research and most of our quotes specifically mentioned ChatGPT rather than generative AI.
We looked at news articles published in the top 10 national broadsheets in the United Kingdom, the United States of America, Australia and New Zealand, as indexed in our library database. We included articles that discussed ChatGPT in higher education and excluded those that looked at schools and non-tertiary institutions. We initially downloaded 1,493 articles, but after filtering for relevance and duplicates, we ended up with exactly 100. We found a lot of duplicates, which suggests the media is reusing and resharing a lot of the content in this space. We took the final 100 articles and used content analysis in vivo, and then Miriam and I cross-moderated to ensure we were consistent. The first thing we looked at is policy. Do you think universities would ban or allow ChatGPT?
Most universities were undecided about their policy. But of those who did have a policy, there were more who banned ChatGPT than allowed it. It's not surprising that a lot of universities were undecided, as we see in these quotes. As we know, it takes time to shift university policies. A recent preprint by Shao et al. Found that the median time for a university to issue a policy on ChatGPT was 113 days, nearly 4 months. Given that AI is advancing far more quickly than our policies, it's important that we write policy that is future-proofed.
We did see a number of universities move to ban AI tools very quickly, including Sydney University, with this quote coming out in November last year. Other universities, like ours, allow students to use AI as long as it's appropriate use and correctly acknowledged. At this stage of the study, allowing students to use AI was considered quite radical by some media outlets. Xiao's new study indicates that the policy balance is starting to shift, with more universities allowing use.
The next big themes we found were discussions around academic integrity, avoiding ChatGPT, and embracing ChatGPT. Most of the concerns raised around academic integrity were fairly broad. Only 32 articles had specific concerns about how it would impact some form of learning, such as this quote about the importance of writing as thinking. 56 had generic statements about cheating, such as this one. This indicates that there is a lot of moral panic around the issue rather than specific concerns.
In all our results, you can see there is a tension emerging between concerns and legitimate use. Some of the articles explicitly recognise this, such as Studiosity founder Jack Goodman's editorial in The Australian. His claim was unusual insofar as he suggests that it's a false dichotomy.
When we looked at the spokespeople quoted in the news, most articles cited university representatives, including lecturers, media releases, AI researchers, and academic integrity officers. When we looked at ChatGPT's voice, some articles quoted sections written by the program itself, and others used a spokesperson from the OpenAI company. Students were far less quoted, and 4 articles only quoted one student who invented ChatGPT-0. So students were really only slightly better represented than ChatGPT. We felt that the student voice was quite marginalised in the early news coverage.
Since we published this paper on news coverage, we've surveyed our students at ECU, and we found that they are picking up the same tensions that we saw in the media. Some students are in favour of banning AI, some think it should be allowed. Many students are also thinking about how AI will influence their workplace and the future of work in society. We are seeing quite a nuanced and thoughtful opinion start to come through from our students, and also a lot of demand for training and how they can use AI appropriately.
At ECU, we are developing a range of specific AI training materials for students, as well as embedding AI tips into our existing materials. We have seen some calls from both students and staff for stricter rules, either banning all AI or allowing all use. We don't think it's practical or useful to ban AI, as the detection tools we currently have are inadequate and they're stuck in an arms race with new AI that's unlikely to ever be resolved, especially as AI tools are spreading into everyday programs such as Microsoft Word. We also agree with students that they will need to use AI in the workplace, so they need to be prepared at university.
However, we also don't think all AI use is appropriate. It depends on the learning outcomes and the context of the assessment. At ECU, we're focused on using authentic and practice-based assessment, not to outsmart AI, so students can't use it, as some articles suggested, but rather to ensure that when students do use AI, it is in a similar way to how they would use it in authentic situations. We need to be teaching students the underlying skills and critical thinking to succeed no matter which AI tools they use. These skills include identifying bias, fact-checking, ethical thinking, and legal issues around privacy and copyright.
Unfortunately, we can't join you in person in Durham, but we look forward to seeing you online. And if you'd like to reach out, you can chat to us in the comments section for this video or find our contact details below.